Close your eyes now and feel yourself sinking deeper into comfort, your body becoming heavier with each slow breath, each gentle exhale releasing the day's tensions, letting them flow away like water flowing downstream. Tonight, we're embarking on the most peaceful journey imaginable, exploring the beautiful science of sleep itself, that mysterious state you enter every night without thinking, that restorative process your body craves like breathing, that magical realm where consciousness shifts and dreams bloom like night-flowering jasmine under moonlight. As you listen to these calming facts about sleep and dreams, let each word carry you closer to that threshold between waking and sleeping, that soft boundary where thoughts begin to dissolve and drift like clouds dispersing in evening sky. There's nothing you need to do, nowhere you need to be, no problems to solve, no decisions to make. Just this moment, this breath, this gentle descent into the healing embrace sleep. Your body knows how to sleep. You've done it thousands of times. Tonight will be no different, perhaps even better as you gain deeper understanding of this nightly gift. Let these soothing discoveries about your nightly rest accompany you into slumber, understanding more deeply the remarkable gift your body gives you each night. The gift of sleep, of dreams, of restoration, of renewal, of healing. Rest now, breathe slowly and deeply. Feel your muscles releasing tension with each exhale, and allow sleep's gentle wisdom to enfold you like a warm blanket on a cold night, like arms that hold you safe, like peace descending. Section 1. The Science of Sleep Cycles, Your Nightly Journey. Fact number 1 invites you to understand the beautiful rhythm of your nightly rest. Each night as you sleep, your brain and body cycle through distinct stages in a pattern that repeats 4 to 6 times before morning. These sleep cycles last approximately 90 to 120 minutes each, a gentle oscillation between different depths of sleep, different types of brain activity, different states of consciousness and restoration. Imagine your sleep as a series of waves, each one carrying you through shallow shores and deep waters. Each complete cycle a journey from light sleep into profound rest and back again. This rhythm isn't random but exquisitely orchestrated by ancient neural mechanisms refined over millions of years of evolution, designed to give your body and mind exactly what they need for complete restoration. Fact number 2 reveals the stages that compose each cycle. Sleep divides into 2 fundamentally different types: non-REM sleep, which includes 3 progressively deeper stages, and REM sleep, where most vivid dreaming occurs. When you first fall asleep, you enter stage 1 of non-REM sleep, that light drowsy state where you hover at sleep's threshold, easily awakened by sounds or movements, your brain waves beginning to slow from the alert patterns of wakefulness. This stage typically lasts just 5 to 10 minutes, a gentle transition, a soft doorway opening to deeper rest. Your muscles relax, your breathing steadies, your heart rate begins to slow, and consciousness starts to fade like daylight gradually dimming into dusk. Our third fact takes us deeper into the night. Stage 2 non-REM sleep is where you spend the most time overall throughout the night, about 45 to 55% of your total sleep. This stage represents true sleep. You're no longer easily disturbed by minor sounds or movements. Your body temperature drops slightly, your heart rate and breathing become more regular and slower, and distinctive patterns appear in your brainwave. Scientists can identify this stage by specific electrical signatures called sleep spindles and K complexes, bursts of neural activity that appear on EEG recordings, beautiful evidence of your brain actively engaging in memory consolidation even as you rest. Sleep spindles in particular play crucial roles in transferring information from short-term to long-term memory, literally helping you learn and remember while you peacefully slumber. Fact number 4 brings us to the deepest waters of sleep. Stage 3 non-REM sleep, once divided into stages 3 and 4 but now combined, is called slow wave sleep or deep sleep, characterized by large, slow delta waves rolling through your brain like gentle ocean swells. This is the most restorative phase of sleep, the time when your body performs its most intensive repair work. It's hardest to wake someone from deep sleep if roused during this stage. They feel groggy and disoriented for several minutes, as if pulled too quickly from profound depth. Children and teenagers spend more time in deep sleep than adults, their growing bodies requiring these extended periods of intensive restoration. As you age, the amount of deep sleep gradually decreases, though this doesn't necessarily mean older adults need less sleep, just that sleep architecture naturally changes across the lifespan. Our fifth fact explores what makes deep sleep so profoundly restorative. During slow-wave sleep, your breathing becomes steady and slow, your heart rate drops to its lowest point of the night, your blood pressure falls, providing your cardiovascular system with much-needed rest after a day of pumping blood through thousands of miles of vessels. Most importantly, this is when growth hormone releases in significant quantities, not just for children but throughout life. Growth hormone stimulates tissue repair, muscle building, bone strengthening, and cellular regeneration. Your immune system strengthens during deep sleep, producing infection-fighting substances, which is why adequate sleep helps you resist illness, and why sleep deprivation makes you more susceptible to catching colds and other infections. Deep sleep is when your body physically rebuilds itself, cell by cell, tissue by tissue, quietly working while you rest, unaware in peaceful unconsciousness. Fact number 6 reveals a fascinating discovery about the sleeping brain. During deep sleep, something remarkable happens. A process called the glymphatic system becomes highly active, essentially washing your brain clean. This network of channels uses cerebrospinal fluid to flush metabolic waste products out of your brain tissue, including a protein called beta-amyloid that accumulates during waking hours. Beta-amyloid buildup has been linked to Alzheimer's disease, and research suggests that chronic sleep deprivation, which reduces deep sleep and therefore reduces this cleaning process, might increase the risk of developing dementia later in life. Every night as you sink into deep slow-wave sleep, your brain essentially takes out the trash, maintaining the clean, healthy environment necessary for optimal neural function. Sleep isn't just rest, it's active maintenance, essential housekeeping that can only occur when consciousness fades and the brain can dedicate resources to self-care. Our seventh fact brings us to the final stage of each cycle. After progressing through the stages of non-REM sleep, you don't simply reverse direction back to light sleep, but instead enter a completely different state, REM sleep, named for the rapid eye movements that occur during this phase. REM sleep is paradoxical, a fascinating contrast. Your brain activity during REM resembles waking more than sleeping, with fast, desynchronized brain waves, increased oxygen consumption, elevated body temperature, yet your body remains profoundly asleep. In fact, most of your voluntary muscles become temporarily paralyzed during REM sleep, except for the diaphragm that keeps you breathing and the muscles that move your eye. This paralysis, called rematonia, prevents you from physically acting out your dreams, a crucial safety feature that occasionally malfunctions in certain sleep disorders.
Fact number 8 explores how sleep cycles change throughout the night. Your first cycle is usually shortest, perhaps only 70 to 90 minutes, and contains the longest period of deep sleep. Your body prioritizes physical restoration early in the night. As cycles repeat, the proportion of time spent in different stages shifts. Deep sleep becomes shorter and may disappear entirely from later cycles, while REM periods grow progressively longer. Your first REM episode might last just 10 minutes, but your final one, near morning, could extend for 30 minutes to an hour. By the time morning approaches, you're spending most of your sleep time alternating between stage 2 and REM sleep, with minimal or no deep sleep. This changing architecture explains why being woken early in the night feels more disruptive than waking near your normal wake time. Early awakening robs you of important deep sleep, while late morning awakenings primarily affect REM sleep. Our ninth fact reveals the precision of your sleep timing. The transitions between sleep stages aren't random, but follow patterns influenced by multiple interacting systems in your brain.
particularly the suprachiasmatic nucleus in your hypothalamus, which acts as your master biological clock. This tiny cluster of about 20,000 neurons generates circadian rhythms, approximately 24-hour cycles that govern not just sleep and wakefulness, but also body temperature, hormone release, hunger, alertness, and countless other physiological processes, even isolated in a laboratory removed from your body. These neurons continue to fire in rhythmic patterns, demonstrating that the clock ticks autonomously, driven by interlocking genetic feedback loops that create oscillations as reliable as a quartz watch. Light information from your eyes synchronizes this internal clock to the external day-night cycle, keeping your rhythm aligned with Earth's rotation. Fact number 10 addresses a common wonder: how much time you spend in each stage. In a typical 8-hour night, you spend about 5 to 10 minutes in stage 1, roughly 50% of the night in stage 2, about 20 to 25% in deep slow-wave sleep, and 20 to 25% in REM sleep. This means if you sleep 8 hours, you get about 100 to 120 minutes of deep sleep, and 90 to 120 minutes of REM sleep. Though these proportions vary based on age, recent sleep patterns, alcohol consumption, medications, stress levels, and individual differences, the exact percentages matter less than understanding that your body cycles naturally through these stages, each one essential, each one contributing uniquely to restoration. You can't consciously control which stage you're in or force yourself into deep sleep or REM. You can only create conditions that allow natural sleep architecture to unfold, trusting your ancient sleep systems to orchestrate the nightly symphony without your conscious interference. Section 2. REM, Sleep, and the Dreaming Mind. Fact number 11 takes us into the fascinating world of REM sleep, that peculiar state discovered in 1953 by Eugene Aserinsky and Nathaniel Kleitman, when they noticed sleeping individuals' eyes moving rapidly beneath closed lids during certain periods of the night. Before this discovery, scientists assumed sleep was a uniform state of reduced brain activity, but REM sleep revealed something unexpected: periods during sleep, when the brain becomes almost as active as during waking, yet consciousness remains fundamentally altered. Your first REM period typically begins about 90 minutes after you fall asleep, emerging from the depths of slow-wave sleep, your brain activity accelerating, your eyes beginning to dart back and forth, tracking the visual imagery unfolding in your dream. Our 12th fact explores the unique physiology of REM sleep. During REM, your autonomic nervous system, which controls automatic functions like heart rate and breathing, becomes irregular and variable. Your heart rate and blood pressure fluctuate, rising and falling unpredictably rather than maintaining the steady low levels seen in non-REM sleep. Your breathing becomes irregular, sometimes rapid, sometimes slow, sometimes punctuated by brief pauses. Your brain's thermoregulation largely shuts down. You lose the ability to shiver when cold or sweat when warm, your body temperature drifting toward ambient temperature. This suspension of homeostasis would be dangerous if it lasted long, but REM periods remain brief enough that your body doesn't overheat or cool significantly. Scientists still debate why the body sacrifices thermoregulation during REM, but this peculiarity demonstrates just how different REM is from both waking and non-REM sleep. Fact number 13 reveals what your brain does during REM. Neuroimaging studies show that during REM sleep, visual cortex areas activate intensely, consistent with the vivid visual imagery dominating most dreams. Motor cortex areas also show activity as if planning or simulating movements, though the motor commands never reach your muscles because of REM atone. The limbic system, including the amygdala involved in emotion, shows high activity, which might explain why dreams often have strong emotional content: fear, joy, anxiety, excitement, sadness. Interestingly, the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, crucial for logical reasoning, working memory, and metacognition, shows reduced activity during REM compared to waking. This deactivation might explain several characteristic features of dreams. They're often illogical progressions, your reduced ability to recognize inconsistencies or impossibilities while dreaming, your typically uncritical acceptance of bizarre events as perfectly normal within the dream. Our 14th fact addresses the fundamental question, why do we dream? Despite decades of research, scientists still debate dreams' function or function. One prominent theory suggests REM sleep and dreaming help consolidate certain types of memories, particularly emotional memories and procedural skills. Studies show that learning a new motor task followed by sleep, particularly REM-rich sleep, leads to better performance than learning followed by wakefulness. Another theory proposes that dreaming helps process emotions, allowing you to work through emotional experiences in a safe, offline environment where stress hormones like norepinephrine are turned off, perhaps explaining why disturbing experiences often lose some emotional intensity after you've slept on it. Dreams might also serve a more creative function, allowing novel associations between distant memories, facilitating insight and problem-solving. Many famous discoveries and artistic creations reportedly emerged from dreams. Fact number 15 reveals the relationship between REM sleep and memory. While earlier theories emphasized REM's role in memory consolidation, more recent evidence suggests non-REM sleep, particularly slow-wave sleep, is equally or more important for declarative memory, memories of facts and events. However, REM sleep does appear to play special roles in emotional memory processing, integrating new experiences with existing knowledge, and consolidating procedural memories, like learning to play an instrument or perfecting a tennis serve. During REM, your hippocampus and neocortex engage in complex dialogue, with patterns of neural activity replaying and reorganizing, memories being sorted, relevant information being highlighted and strengthened, while less important details fade. This process happens largely without conscious awareness, your sleeping brain curating your memory library, deciding what to keep, what to discard, what to integrate with existing knowledge. Our 16th fact explores the content of dreams. Studies analyzing thousands of dream reports reveal consistent patterns. Most dreams feature the dreamer as an active participant rather than passive observer interacting with other characters, usually people known to the dreamer, though often in altered or composite forms in settings that are familiar yet strange, recognizable yet transformed. Visual imagery dominates, while other sensory modalities appear less frequently. About 80% of dreams contain some emotional content, with negative emotions like anxiety, fear, and confusion appearing more frequently than positive emotions like joy or excitement. Though this might partly reflect reporting bias, people remember disturbing dreams more readily than pleasant ones. Common themes recur across cultures: being chased, falling, appearing naked in public, teeth falling out, being unprepared for an exam, arriving late to something important. These universal themes might reflect common human concerns and anxieties, transcending cultural boundaries. Fact number 17 addresses the curious phenomenon of dream amnesia. You dream multiple times each night, probably experiencing 3 to 5 distinct dream episodes, or more. Yet most people recall at most one dream per night, and many mornings you wake remembering no dreams at all. Dream recall depends on several factors. Dreams recalled most readily are those from which you wake directly. If you wake from REM sleep, you're much more likely to remember the dream than if you wake from non-REM sleep. The neurochemical environment of REM sleep, particularly the absence of norepinephrine and reduced levels of serotonin, might impair the brain mechanisms necessary for transferring experiences into long-term memory storage. Additionally, the prefrontal cortex deactivation during REM might compromise the encoding processes that would normally lay down lasting memory traces. Dreams that do get remembered often fade rapidly upon waking, slipping away even as you try to hold on to them, disappearing like mist in sunlight. Our 18th fact reveals how dreams incorporate recent experiences. Research demonstrates that dreams often include elements from the day or two before. Events, people, emotions, thoughts from waking life appear in transformed ways in dreams. This is called the day residue effect, and it suggests dreams aren't random neural noise,
but reflect genuine processing of recent experiences. However, dreams don't simply replay events as they occur. Instead, they remix elements, combining recent experiences with older memories, mixing realistic elements with fantastic impossibilities, blending emotional themes from different times in your life. One study found that learning a complex task, then dreaming about that task, predicted improved performance after waking. The dreams weren't exact replays but abstract representations. People who learned to navigate a virtual maze and later dreamed about mazes, even simplified or altered versions, showed the most improvement, suggesting the sleeping brain was actively working on the problem in its own peculiar way. Fact number 19 explores the concept that dreams might reflect a brain trying to make sense of random neural activity. The activation synthesis hypothesis, proposed by Harvard psychiatrists Alan Hobson and Robert McCarley, suggested that dreams result from the cortex attempting to interpret random signals generated by the brainstem during REM sleep. In this view, the bizarre nature of dreams stems from the brain constructing narratives from neural noise, doing its best to create coherent stories from meaningless input. While this theory has been modified and challenged, it highlights an important point. Whatever the ultimate function or functions of dreaming, the experience involves the brain operating in a unique mode where normal constraints of logic and physical law don't apply, where imagination runs wild, where the impossible becomes possible, and paradoxes go unquestioned. Dreams reveal the brain's extraordinary creativity, its capacity to generate rich, detailed experiences from pure internal activity with no external sensory input required. Our 20th fact addresses REM sleep's changes across the lifespan. Newborn infants spend approximately 50% of their sleep time in REM or its precursor state, with the proportion declining to about 30 to 40% by age 3, then gradually decreasing further to about 20 to 25% in adult. Elderly individuals still experience significant REM sleep, though REM periods may become somewhat shorter. This high proportion of REM sleep in infancy, when the nervous system develops most rapidly, supports theories that REM sleep contributes to brain development, perhaps providing stimulation that helps neural networks form and organize. The developing brain spends more time in this activated sleep state, possibly because it needs the neural activity to guide proper wiring of circuits. As the brain matures and circuits stabilize, less time in this activated state becomes necessary, though REM sleep remains important throughout life for ongoing maintenance, memory processing and emotional regulation. Section 3: Deep Sleep, the Restoration Phase. Fact number 21 invites you to appreciate the profound restoration occurring during deep slow-wave sleep, that stage characterized by large rhythmic delta waves rolling across your cortex. These waves, occurring at frequencies of half a cycle to 4 cycles per second, synchronize vast numbers of neurons into collective oscillations, creating the most organized, coordinated brain state you experience. While this synchronized activity might seem simple compared to the complex desynchronized patterns of waking or REM sleep, these slow oscillations coordinate crucial restorative processes. They help consolidate memories, transferring information from temporary hippocampal storage into permanent cortical networks. They provide opportunity for metabolic restoration and cellular repair that faster brain states don't permit. Deep sleep is when your brain truly rests, energy consumption dropping to minimal levels, allowing recovery from the metabolic demands of waking consciousness. Our 22nd fact reveals the remarkable precision of slow-wave activity. The slow oscillations of deep sleep aren't random, but follow specific patterns, with neurons firing in waves that travel across the cortex in consistent direction. These waves might help coordinate the dialogue between different brain regions, allowing the hippocampus to replay recent experiences to the neocortex during the oscillations up states, when neurons are more excitable, then providing quiet periods during down states when neurons This alternation between activity and silence, repeated hundreds of times throughout the night, appears crucial for memory consolidation. Disrupting these slow oscillations,
impairs memory formation, while enhancing them through techniques like transcranial stimulation can improve memory performance, demonstrating that these slow waves aren't just correlates of sleep, but active participants in sleep's cognitive function. Fact number 23 explores how deep sleep changes with age. Young children spend much more time in deep sleep than adults. Sometimes up to 40% of their sleep time shows slow wave characteristics, compared to 15 to 25% in young adults. This makes sense given children's extensive physical growth and neural development. By middle age, deep sleep begins declining, and elderly individuals may experience very little stage 3 sleep, spending most of the night in lighter stage 2 sleep and REM sleep. This reduction doesn't necessarily indicate pathology, but reflects normal aging changes in sleep architecture. However, maintaining good sleep habits becomes even more important with age, as the deep sleep that does occur becomes crucial for cognitive maintenance and physical health. The quality of whatever deep sleep you get matters enormously, making sleep disruptions particularly problematic for older adults. Our 24th fact reveals deep sleep's role in growth hormone release. The pituitary gland secretes growth hormone impulses throughout the day, but the largest surge occurs during the first major period of deep sleep each night, typically within the first few hours after falling asleep. Growth hormone, despite its name, isn't just for growing children. It continues serving important functions throughout life, promoting tissue repair, muscle maintenance, bone density, fat metabolism, and cellular regeneration. Chronic sleep deprivation suppresses growth hormone secretion, potentially contributing to the numerous health problems associated with insufficient sleep. During deep sleep, with growth hormone flowing and cellular repair processes running at full capacity, your body literally heals and rebuilds itself, maintaining the physical integrity necessary for health and vitality. Fact number 25 takes us to deep sleep's immune function. Your immune system and sleep interact in complex ways, with deep sleep particularly important for immune function. During deep sleep, inflammatory cytokines increase, substances that help fight infection and promote cellular repair. Sleep loss impairs immune function. Studies show that people who sleep less than 7 hours per night are 3 times more likely to develop a cold when exposed to cold viruses than those who sleep 8 hours or more. Conversely, when you're sick, you often feel compelled to sleep more and spend more time in deep sleep, your body's attempt to marshal immune resources for fighting infection. The sleepiness you feel when ill isn't weakness, but strategy, your body prioritizing recovery over activity. Deep sleep provides time and physiological conditions for your immune system to mount effective responses to pathogens and to generate immunological memory that protects you from future infections. Our 26th fact reveals what happens to your cardiovascular system during deep sleep. Your heart rate drops to its lowest levels of the night during slow wave sleep. Your blood pressure falls significantly. Your heart doesn't have to work as hard to circulate blood. This reduced cardiovascular demand provides crucial rest for your heart and blood vessels. Chronic sleep deprivation, which reduces deep sleep time, is associated with increased risk of hypertension, heart disease, and stroke. The mechanisms aren't fully understood, but the stress of insufficient sleep activates the sympathetic nervous system, your fight or flight response, keeping blood pressure and heart rate elevated even during whatever sleep you do get. The restorative cardiovascular rest that deep sleep normally provides gets compromised, and over years of inadequate sleep, this contributes to cardiovascular disease risk. Every night of good sleep, with adequate deep sleep, is an investment in your heart's long-term health. Fact number 27 explores the glymphatic system's activity during sleep. This waste clearance system, discovered in 2012, becomes dramatically more active during sleep, particularly during deep sleep. The space between brain cells expands during sleep, allowing cerebrospinal fluid to flow more freely through brain tissue, flushing out metabolic waste products that accumulated during waking hours. This includes beta-amyloid protein, which forms the plaques found in Alzheimer's disease, and tau protein, which forms the tangles associated with neurodegeneration. People who chronically sleep poorly show faster accumulation of these proteins, suggesting inadequate waste clearance might contribute to dementia risk. The glymphatic system provides a compelling reason why sleep is non-negotiable for brain health. Without sufficient deep sleep, your brain cannot adequately clean itself, and toxic proteins gradually accumulate, potentially contributing to cognitive decline decades later. Our 28th fact addresses the feeling of being refreshed after good sleep. That wonderful sense of restoration you feel after a full night's sleep, particularly the mental clarity and physical energy, partially reflects adequate deep sleep. When sleep is disrupted, preventing deep slow-wave sleep from occurring or breaking it into fragments too brief for effective restoration, you wake feeling unrefreshed, despite perhaps spending adequate total time in bed. This explains why sleep quality matters as much as sleep quantity. 7 solid hours of uninterrupted sleep, with good amounts of deep sleep, will leave you feeling more rested than 9 hours of frequently interrupted, fragmented sleep that never allows sustained periods in restorative stages, creating conditions that support continuous, undisturbed sleep. A dark, quiet, cool bedroom, a regular sleep schedule, stress management, helps maximize deep sleep and the restorative benefits it provides. Fact number 29 reveals how deep sleep contributes to cognitive function. Beyond memory consolidation, deep sleep appears to restore the brain's capacity for new learning. Studies show that sleep-deprived individuals have more difficulty forming new memories than well-rested individuals, suggesting the brain needs sleep, particularly deep sleep, to essentially clear the buffer and make room for new information. One theory proposes that synapses strengthen throughout the day as you learn and experience things, but this synaptic potentiation can't continue indefinitely without saturating the system. During deep sleep, synaptic downscaling occurs. Synapses generally weaken slightly, resetting the system to baseline, making room for new learning the next day, while preserving the most important synaptic changes that encode critical memory. This synaptic homeostasis maintains the brain's capacity to remain plastic and adaptable throughout life.
Our 30th fact brings us to the peaceful, dreamless quality of deep sleep. While dreams can occur during any sleep stage, the dreams reported from deep sleep tend to be vague, thought-like, and lacking the vivid imagery and narrative structure typical of REM dreams. Many people awakened from deep slow-wave sleep report no mental activity at all, describing their consciousness as completely blank. This near absence of subjective experience, combined with the difficulty of waking from deep sleep, and the grogginess and disorientation that follows forced awakening from this stage, suggests that during deep sleep, consciousness fades to its lowest ebb, the brain turning inward to focus on restoration rather than generating experience. Deep sleep is the closest you come to true rest, when the constant stream of consciousness that characterizes waking life and even dreaming sleep finally quiets, allowing genuine recovery from the exhausting work of being conscious. Section 4: The Mystery and Magic of Dreams. Fact number 31 invites you into the strange and wonderful world of dreams, those bizarre narratives your brain creates each night, those impossible adventures that feel utterly real while you're experiencing them, those emotional dramas that evaporate like morning mist when you wake. Humans have pondered dreams since recorded history began, interpreting them as messages from gods, glimpses of the future, windows into the unconscious mind. While modern neuroscience has demystified some aspects of dreaming, revealing it as a natural brain state with identifiable neural correlates, dreams retain their mystery and fascination. They reveal the extraordinary creativity of the unconscious mind, its capacity to generate rich, detailed, emotionally compelling experiences from pure neural activity, with no external input required. Dreams remind us that reality itself is a construction of consciousness, that what we experience is never the world itself but always our brain's interpretation of sensory signals, and during dreams, those interpretations run free without sensory constraint. Our 30-second fact explores the universality of dreaming. Every culture throughout history has reported dreams, suggesting dreaming is a fundamental feature of human sleep rather than culturally determined. Congenitally blind individuals dream, though their dreams lack visual imagery and emphasize other sensory modalities, particularly sound and touch. People with damage to specific brain areas may lose the ability to dream despite maintaining normal REM sleep, demonstrating that dreaming and REM, though associated, are dissociable. You can have REM sleep without dreams, or dreams without the typical REM physiology, though they usually occur together. The ubiquity of dreaming across all cultures, all historical periods, and among individuals with diverse neural configurations, suggests dreaming serves important functions, though scientists continue debating what those functions might be. Fact number 33 reveals how dreams can incorporate external stimuli. While mostly generated from internal activity, dreams sometimes weave external sensations into their narrative. The classic example is the alarm clock becoming incorporated into a dream, perhaps as a ringing telephone or doorbell, allowing you to continue sleeping briefly before the alarm's persistence forces waking. Research has demonstrated this experimentally, with sleepers exposed to sounds, touches, or even odors during REM sleep, sometimes incorporating these stimuli into their dream content in transformed ways. A splash of water might become a dream of swimming, or a perfume scent might evoke a dream memory of someone associated with that fragrance. The dreaming brain, receiving these external signals, attempts to explain them by incorporating them into the ongoing dream narrative, revealing how the brain constantly constructs plausible explanations for whatever input it receives, whether that input comes from the external world or from internal neural activity. Our 34th fact addresses a common dream experience: the inability to speak, move, or many people report dreams where they try to run but move in slow motion, try to scream but no sound emerges, try to fight but their limbs feel heavy and weak. These frustrating dream experiences might partly reflect the REM atonia. Your motor cortex generates commands during dreams, attempting to move your paralyzed body, and the feedback of immobility gets incorporated into the dream as difficulty move. Your brain expects movement when it issues motor commands, but receives no proprioceptive feedback confirming the movement occurred, a discrepancy it tries to explain within the dream narrative. Similarly, trying to turn on lights that don't work, trying to read text that keeps changing, trying to do familiar tasks that inexplicably fail. These might reflect the brain's difficulty maintaining stable representations during the chaotic neural activity of dreaming, with the instability manifesting in the dream as a frustrating inability to affect your environment. Fact number 35 explores recurring dreams and nightmares. Many people experience certain dreams repeatedly, sometimes for years, often with themes of anxiety, being unprepared for an exam, unable to find a classroom, losing teeth, being chased by something threatening. Recurring dreams might reflect unresolved emotional concerns, situations in waking life that provoke anxiety but haven't been fully processed or resolved. Nightmares, intensely disturbing dreams that often wake the dreamer, usually occur during REM sleep, particularly in the latter half of the night when REM periods are longest. Occasional nightmares are normal, experienced by most people occasionally, but frequent nightmares can interfere with sleep quality and may indicate underlying stress, anxiety, trauma, or certain medication. The fear experienced in nightmares is real, activating the same brain areas and physiological responses as waking fear, which is why you often wake from nightmares with rapid heart rate, sweating, and genuine distress despite the dream's fictional nature. Our 36th fact reveals the strange phenomenon of flying dreams. Many people report dreams of flying, soaring through the air with a sense of freedom and exhilaration. The experience feels utterly real in the moment, your body sensing the motion, the wind,
the landscape passing below. Some researchers speculate flying dreams might relate to the brain's vestibular system, which normally processes information about balance and spatial orientation, perhaps generating unusual signals during REM sleep that the brain interprets as flight. Others suggest flying dreams express desires for freedom, escape from constraints, or transcendence of limitation. The fact that flying dreams are so common across cultures and individuals suggests they might reflect fundamental aspects of how the dreaming brain processes spatial information and bodily sensations, or perhaps they tap into universal human longings for freedom and autonomy, or perhaps both explanations hold partial truth. The multiple potential meanings and mechanisms of flying dreams illustrate the complexity of dream interpretation. Fact number 37 takes us to lucid dreams, which we'll explore more deeply soon, but merit mention here as a special type of dream where the dreamer becomes aware of dreaming while the dream continues. In lucid dreams, you suddenly realize, "I'm dreaming," while still asleep and immersed in the dream, often triggered by noticing something impossible or inconsistent. This realization can be brief, with consciousness immediately snapping back to normal dreaming or waking. It can be sustained, allowing the dreamer to observe the dream with waking-like awareness, or even exert some control over dream content. Lucid dreams feel different from ordinary dreams. The sense of self becomes more continuous with waking identity. The ability to reason and make decisions returns partially, and the dreamer can reflect on the experience while having it. Some people experience lucid dreams frequently, others rarely or never, and various techniques can increase lucid dreaming frequency, which we'll discuss later. Our 38th fact explores dreams' emotional intensification. Events that might provoke only mild concern when awake can become sources of profound terror in dreams. Minor embarrassments become mortifying. Small anxieties inflate into overwhelming dread. This emotional amplification might relate to the high amygdala activity and low prefrontal cortex activity during REM sleep. The brain regions generating emotion are highly active, while the regions that regulate emotion and provide rational perspective remain relatively quiet. Without the prefrontal cortex to moderate emotional responses, feelings in dreams can reach extraordinary intensity, unconstrained by the rational evaluation that normally tempers emotion. This might actually serve useful functions, allowing you to emotionally process concerns in an exaggerated but safe environment, perhaps helping develop emotional resilience, or identifying issues that need conscious attention. The intensity of dream emotions reminds us that emotion and reason aren't opposites, but interacting systems, and dreams show what happens when emotion operates without reason's moderating influence. Fact number 39 addresses dream content across the life. Children's dreams tend to be shorter and less narratively complex than adult dreams, with younger children reporting more static dream images and simple scenarios, while dream reports become more elaborate and story-like as children develop. This progression might reflect developing cognitive abilities. As children's waking imagination becomes more sophisticated, so do their dreams. Interestingly, young children rarely report nightmares about fantasy creatures like monsters, despite these being common childhood fears, suggesting nightmares might reflect realistic concerns rather than purely imaginative content. Elderly adults continue dreaming regularly, though some research suggests dream recall decreases with age, possibly due to changes in memory function rather than reduced dreaming. The consistent dreaming across the lifespan demonstrates it's not a phenomenon of youth but a fundamental aspect of sleep maintained throughout life. Our 40th fact explores the creativity found in dreams. Many famous creative breakthroughs reportedly emerged from dreams. The structure of the benzene molecule, the melody of yesterday, plots of novels and inventions too numerous to list. While these stories are sometimes embellished in retelling, they point to something genuine about dreams. They make novel associations, combining memories and concepts in ways waking thought might never attempt. During dreams, the brain's default mode network, active during mind wandering and creative thinking, while awake, shows strong activity, while the executive control network that focuses attention and constrains thinking to logical paths shows reduced activity. This might allow dreams to explore conceptual space more broadly, finding unexpected connections that escape focused waking thought. The creativity of dreams reminds us that breakthrough insights often come from relaxed, unfocused states rather than intense concentration, and that the sleeping brain continues contributing to creative problem-solving even when waking consciousness rests.
Section 5. Lucid Dreaming, Consciousness in Sleep. Fact number 41 invites you to explore the fascinating phenomenon of lucid dreaming, where awareness returns during dreams, allowing you to know you're dreaming while the dream continues. Imagine sleeping peacefully, immersed in a dream's narrative, when something strikes you as odd. Perhaps you're flying, or a deceased loved one appears, or you're reading text that keeps changing when you look away and back. This inconsistency triggers a realization: this can't be real, I must be dreaming. With that thought, everything changes. The dream continues, but you're now aware it's a dream, conscious within sleep, experiencing a unique hybrid state that combines aspects of both sleeping and waking consciousness. Lucid dreams have been reported throughout history across cultures, described in ancient Hindu texts, Buddhist dream yoga practices, and Western philosophical writings, but only in 1975 did researchers confirm their reality scientifically. Our 42nd fact reveals how scientists validated lucid dreaming. In 1975, British researcher Keith Hearn and independently Stanford researcher Stephen LaBerge trained lucid dreamers to signal from their dreams using deliberate eye movement. Eye muscles aren't paralyzed during REM sleep, so a dreamer who becomes lucid can make pre-arranged eye movement patterns, left-right, for example, that researchers can detect using electroencephalography. When a trained lucid dreamer reported becoming lucid and making the signal, researchers could verify that the person was indeed in REM sleep, while simultaneously conscious enough to remember the task and execute the predetermined signal. This objective verification of consciousness during sleep opened new possibilities for studying dreaming and consciousness, allowing researchers to mark specific points in sleep when particular cognitive operations occur and to communicate with sleeping subjects in real time. Fact number 43 explores what makes lucid dreaming neurologically distinct. Brain imaging and EEG studies reveal that lucid dreaming shows unique patterns of brain activity different from both normal dreaming and waking. During lucid dreams compared to regular dreams, certain prefrontal cortex regions, particularly the frontopolar cortex involved in metacognition and self-reflection, show increased activity. This makes sense. Metacognition is the ability to think about your own thinking, to evaluate your beliefs and mental states, precisely what happens when you recognize you're dreaming. Additionally, gamma-band brain wave activity increases during lucid dreams, particularly in the 40 Hz range typically associated with conscious awareness while awake. Recent research published in the Journal of Neuroscience confirms that lucid dreaming represents a distinct state of consciousness, not simply waking or dreaming, but something hybrid, with its own characteristic neural signature combining features of both sleeping and waking brain activity. Our 44th fact reveals why lucid dreams are relatively rare. Most people experience lucid dreams occasionally. Surveys suggest about half of people have had at least one lucid dream in their lifetime, but frequent lucid dreamers who have them weekly or more are uncommon, representing perhaps 5 to 10% of the population. The rarity of spontaneous lucid dreaming relates to normal brain function during REM sleep. The prefrontal cortex, which provides self-awareness and metacognitive abilities, typically shows reduced activity during dream. For lucidity to occur, this region must become more active, restoring enough metacognitive function to evaluate the dream experience critically and recognize its impossible elements as dream signs. This partial reactivation of prefrontal function happens occasionally by chance, that can be trained through various techniques, allowing some individuals to experience lucid dreams regularly or even on demand. Fact number 45 explores techniques for inducing lucid dream. Reality testing during waking hours, regularly checking whether you're dreaming by looking for dream signs like text that changes when you look away, trying to push your finger through your palm, or questioning whether your current experience could be a dream can transfer to dream, with the habit eventually triggering lucidity when you notice something impossible. Mnemonic induction involves setting intention before sleep, telling yourself, "Tonight I will realize I'm dreaming," and visualizing becoming lucid. Wake back to bed techniques involve waking after several hours of sleep, staying awake briefly, then returning to sleep, often entering REM sleep more quickly and with higher metacognitive awareness. Certain supplements, particularly galantamine, which increases acetylcholine levels in the brain, can significantly increase lucid dreaming frequency when combined with other techniques. External cueing during REM sleep, with sounds, lights, or gentle vibrations, can sometimes trigger lucidity without waking the dreamer. Our 46th fact addresses what you can do in lucid dreams. Once lucid dreamers report varying degrees of dream control. Novice lucid dreamers might maintain awareness only briefly before either waking or slipping back into normal dreaming. With practice, lucidity can be stabilized, and some control over dream content becomes possible. Advanced lucid dreamers report being able to fly at will, transform their appearance or environment, summon people or objects, experiment with impossible physics, practice skills, confront nightmares, have conversations with dream characters, or simply observe the dream with detached awareness, like watching a movie. The level of control varies widely. Some lucid dreamers can radically alter their dreams, while others remain observers within an unfolding narrative they recognize as dream but cannot direct. The experience fascinates researchers because it demonstrates that consciousness during sleep exists on a spectrum, from complete absorption in dreams to waking-like awareness within dreams. Fact number 47 explores therapeutic applications of lucid dreaming. Research shows that lucid dreaming can help treat nightmare disorders, including those associated with PT. The technique, called lucid dreaming therapy, or imagery rehearsal therapy, teaches patients to recognize nightmares as dreams and then change the dream's outcome, transforming the threat, confronting the frightening elements safely, or simply flying away. Studies show significant reductions in nightmare frequency and distress following lucid dreaming training. The American Academy of Sleep Medicine has recommended lucid dreaming therapy for nightmare disorder since. Beyond nightmares, lucid dreams offer opportunities for personal exploration, practicing skills in a safe environment, overcoming fears through repeated exposure in dreams, or experiencing things impossible in waking life. Athletes use lucid dreams to mentally rehearse movements, and some researchers study whether lucid dream practice can improve actual physical skills. Our 48th fact reveals potential risks of pursuing lucid dreams. While generally considered safe, attempting to induce lucid dreams can occasionally produce unpleasant experiences. Sleep paralysis, waking before REM atonia ends, leaving you temporarily unable to move, sometimes occurs when attempting certain lucid dreaming techniques, and can be frightening, especially when accompanied by hallucination. False awakenings, where you dream of waking and going about your day only to truly wake and realize the previous experience was a dream, can be disorienting and might blur boundaries between dream and reality for individuals prone to dissociative experience. Some frequent lucid dreamers report feeling less rested from sleep, possibly because maintaining consciousness during dreams prevents full restoration, though research on this remains limited. The techniques that induce lucid dreams sometimes fragment sleep, and for people with insomnia or other sleep disorders, pursuing lucid dreaming might worsen sleep quality rather than improve it. Fact number 49 explores lucid dreaming's connection to meditation practices. Both lucid dreaming and meditation, particularly mindfulness meditation, involve metacognitive awareness, observing your own mental states, recognizing when your mind wanders, bringing attention back to present experience. Research shows that people who regularly practice meditation report more frequent lucid dreams, and training in mindfulness increases lucid dreaming frequency. Tibetan Buddhist dream yoga explicitly trains practitioners to maintain awareness during dreams, seeing the recognition of dreams as spiritual insight, applicable to recognizing the dream-like nature of waking reality. These contemplative traditions have explored consciousness during sleep for centuries, and modern neuroscience is only recently catching up, using technology to study what practitioners have long known through direct experience, that consciousness doesn't simply turn off during sleep, but can maintain awareness through various sleep states. Our 50th fact brings us to cutting-edge research on two-way communication during dreams. In 2021, researchers at multiple laboratories demonstrated that sleeping, lucid dreaming subjects can answer questions posed from outside the dream and communicate their answers through eye movements or facial muscle contraction. A researcher might ask a simple math problem aloud while the subject sleeps. The sleeping lucid dreamer hears the question incorporated into their dream, calculates the answer, and signals the answer using pre-arranged eye movement. This breakthrough demonstrates not just that dreamers can communicate out of dreams, but that external information can reach dreamers, potentially allowing researchers to interact with sleeping subjects, ask questions about their subjective experience, and even influence dream content. This real-time communication opens unprecedented research possibilities and might eventually allow applications like overnight problem solving, learning during sleep, or therapeutic interventions delivered while dreaming. Section 6. Sleep's healing powers, body and mind. Fact number 51 invites you to appreciate sleep as the most powerful healing treatment available, more effective than most medicines, freely accessible to everyone, yet chronically undervalued in modern society. Sleep heals your body, restoring cellular damage, rebuilding tissues, strengthening immune defenses. It heals your mind, processing emotions, consolidating memories, clearing toxic metabolic products from brain tissue. It heals your mood, reducing anxiety and irritability, improving emotional resilience and regulation. The restorative power of sleep is so fundamental that nearly every aspect of health suffers when sleep suffers, and nearly every aspect of health improves when sleep improves. Understanding sleep's healing properties might motivate prioritizing rest, viewing time spent sleeping not as wasted hours but as essential medicine, as necessary maintenance that allows your body and mind to function optimally. Our 52nd fact explores sleep's role in physical healing. During sleep, particularly deep sleep, your body shifts resources from activity to repair. Cell division accelerates, allowing tissues to regenerate. Protein synthesis increases, building new cellular components and repairing damaged structure. Wounds heal faster with adequate sleep. Studies show that people recovering from surgery or injury who sleep well heal more quickly than those who sleep poorly. Sleep deprivation impairs healing, slows recovery, and increases pain perception. Athletes who sleep adequately perform better, recover faster from training, and suffer fewer injuries than those who skimp on sleep. Your body literally rebuilds itself while you sleep, and chronic sleep deprivation is like trying to maintain a house while never allowing time for repairs. Eventually, things start breaking down, systems begin failing, and what could have been prevented through regular maintenance becomes serious damage requiring extensive intervention. Fact number 53 reveals sleep's effect on metabolism and weight. Sleep affects hunger hormones. Ghrelin, which stimulates appetite, increases with sleep deprivation, while leptin, which signals satiety, decreases. This hormonal shift makes you hungrier when sleep deprived, particularly craving high-calorie, carbohydrate-rich foods that provide quick energy to compensate for tiredness. Sleep deprivation also impairs glucose metabolism and insulin sensitivity, with even a single night of poor sleep creating a temporary pre-diabetic state in healthy individuals.
Chronic sleep deprivation increases risk of obesity and type 2 diabetes through multiple mechanisms. Studies show that people who consistently sleep less than 6 hours per night have significantly higher rates of obesity than those who sleep 7 to 9 hours. Yet sleep is rarely mentioned in discussions of weight management, despite being as important as diet and exercise for maintaining healthy body weight. Our 54th fact explores sleep's impact on cardiovascular health. During sleep, particularly deep sleep, your blood pressure drops significantly, giving your cardiovascular system much-needed rest. This nocturnal blood pressure dip is so important that its absence, called non-dipping, predicts increased cardiovascular. Chronic sleep deprivation elevates blood pressure, increases heart rate variability in unhealthy ways, promotes inflammation, accelerates atherosclerosis, and significantly increases risk of heart attack and stroke. Multiple large studies show that people who consistently sleep less than 6 hours or more than 9 hours per night have higher cardiovascular mortality than those who sleep 7 to 8 hours. The relationship isn't fully understood, but short sleep duration appears to activate stress systems, increase inflammation, impair glucose metabolism, and elevate blood pressure, all contributing to cardiovascular disease. Your heart needs rest, just as your muscles do, and adequate sleep provides that essential recovery time. Fact number 55 reveals sleep's crucial role in immune function. Your immune system and sleep are intimately connected, with sleep supporting immune function and immune activation promoting sleep. When you're sleep deprived, your production of protective cytokines decreases, while pro-inflammatory cytokines may increase, creating an immune profile that poorly defends against infection and promotes chronic inflammation. Vaccination responses are weaker in sleep-deprived individuals. Studies show that people who sleep poorly after receiving a vaccine develop fewer antibodies than those who sleep well, essentially making the vaccine less effective. Conversely, when you're sick, increased immune activity triggers sleepiness, your body's attempt to shift resources from activity to immune defense. The drowsiness you feel with illness isn't weakness, but strategy. Your immune system commandeering sleep systems to prioritize fighting infection over remaining alert. Sleeping adequately is one of the simplest, most effective things you can do to maintain strong immune defenses. Our 56th fact explores sleep's effect on pain perception. Sleep deprivation lowers pain threshold, making painful stimuli hurt more and non-painful stimuli feel uncomfortable. People with chronic pain conditions often sleep poorly, creating a vicious cycle. Pain disrupts sleep, poor sleep amplifies pain perception, increased pain further disrupts sleep. Studies show that healthy individuals who are sleep deprived for even a single night show increased sensitivity to pain, while extending sleep slightly beyond normal amounts actually reduces pain sensitivity. The mechanisms involve multiple systems. Sleep deprivation increases inflammatory markers that sensitize pain pathways, reduces the brain's pain inhibition systems, and amplifies emotional reactions to painful stimuli through effects on the amygdala and prefrontal cortex. For people managing chronic pain, improving sleep can be as important as pain medication, addressing one of the factors that perpetuates and amplifies pain perception. Fact number 57 reveals sleep's powerful effects on mental health. The relationship between sleep and mental health is bidirectional. Mental health conditions often disrupt sleep, while poor sleep significantly increases risk of developing mental health problems. Sleep deprivation can trigger manic episodes in people with bipolar disorder, worsen symptoms of schizophrenia, increase anxiety, and significantly elevate depression risk. In fact, insomnia is one of the strongest predictors of depression, with people who have chronic insomnia having 10 times the risk of developing major depression compared to good sleepers. Treatment for depression should always include addressing sleep, and sometimes improving sleep alone can significantly reduce depressive symptoms. Cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, which helps people develop better sleep habits and address unhelpful beliefs about sleep, has been shown to reduce both insomnia and depression, demonstrating that sleep improvement can be therapeutic for mental health conditions. Our 58th fact explores sleep's essential role in emotional regulation. Sleep deprivation makes you more emotionally reactive. Small frustrations provoke disproportionate irritation. Minor disappointments feel devastating. Positive events don't generate as much joy. Brain imaging studies show that sleep-deprived individuals show 60% more activity in the amygdala in response to negative images compared to well-rested individuals, while connectivity between the amygdala and prefrontal cortex decreases, reducing top-down regulation of emotional responses. Sleep deprivation essentially creates an emotional vulnerability, where your brain reacts more strongly to negative stimuli and has less ability to modulate those reactions through rational appraisal. Adequate sleep, particularly REM sleep, helps process emotional experiences, reducing their emotional charge and integrating them into memory in less distressing ways. If you've noticed that problems seem more manageable after a good night's sleep, you're experiencing sleep's emotional regulatory functions. Fact number 59 reveals sleep's contribution to cognitive. Sleep affects virtually every aspect of cognition: attention, memory, learning, decision-making, creativity, problem-solving, all decline with insufficient sleep. Being awake for 24 hours impairs cognitive and motor performance equivalently to being legally drunk, yet people often drive and make important decisions while chronically sleep-deprived without recognizing their impairment. Sleep loss particularly affects the prefrontal cortex, the brain region responsible for executive functions like planning, inhibition, and working memory. This explains why sleep-deprived people make poor decisions, act impulsively, struggle to focus, and can't accurately judge their own level of impairment. The very brain region needed to recognize and compensate for deficits is most affected by sleep loss. Adequate sleep isn't a luxury, but a necessity for your brain to function properly, for you to think clearly, make good decisions, and perform at your best. Our 60th fact brings us to sleep's role in clearing toxins from the brain. The glymphatic system mentioned earlier provides a compelling mechanistic explanation for why sleep is necessary. During waking, neurons burn fuel and generate metabolic waste products continuously. These accumulate in the spaces between brain cells, including proteins like beta-amyloid and tau that, when they aggregate, contribute to Alzheimer's disease and other neurodegenerative conditions. During sleep, particularly deep sleep, the glymphatic system ramps up activity dramatically, flushing these waste products out of brain tissue into the cerebrospinal fluid and eventually into the bloodstream for disposal. Sleep deprivation impairs this clearance, allowing toxic proteins to accumulate. Studies show that even a single night of sleep deprivation increases measurable beta-amyloid levels in the brain. Chronic sleep deprivation over years or decades might contribute to neurodegeneration by preventing adequate clearance of these potentially toxic proteins. Sleep isn't just rest, it's essential maintenance, the brain's opportunity to clean house and maintain the healthy environment necessary for optimal cognitive function throughout life. Section 7, the sleep-wake cycle, your inner clock. Fact number 61 invites you to appreciate the remarkable biological clock ticking in your brain, keeping time with precision that rivals mechanical watches. The suprachiasmatic nucleus, that tiny cluster of neurons in your hypothalamus containing your master circadian pacemaker, generates rhythms of approximately 24 hours through interlocking genetic feedback loops. Even when removed from the brain and placed in a dish, these neurons continue firing in rhythmic patterns, demonstrating that the clock ticks autonomously, driven by molecular machinery inside individual cells. This circadian clock governs not just sleep and wakefulness, but body temperature, blood pressure, hormone release, metabolism, immune function, and countless other processes, orchestrating daily rhythms in nearly every cell of your body. Understanding your circadian rhythm helps you work with your biology rather than against it, timing activities appropriately to maximize alertness, performance, and sleep quality.
Our 60-second fact explores how light synchronizes your circadian clock. Without external time cues, your circadian rhythm free runs with a period slightly longer than 24 hours for most people. about 24 hours and 15 minutes on average. This means without synchronization, your internal rhythm would gradually drift out of alignment with Earth's day-night cycle, and you'd find yourself sleeping later and later each day. Light prevents this drift by resetting the clock daily. Special photoreceptors in your retina, called intrinsically photosensitive retinal ganglion cells containing melanopsin, detect light and send signals directly to the suprachiasmatic nucleus. Bright light in the morning advances the clock, making you wake earlier, while light exposure in evening delays the clock, pushing sleep later. This mechanism kept our ancestors synchronized with sunrise and sunset, but artificial lighting allows us to receive light at any hour, potentially disrupting the synchronization and contributing to circadian misalignment. Fact number 63 reveals the melatonin rhythm. As evening approaches, the suprachiasmatic nucleus signals the pineal gland to begin releasing melatonin, sometimes called the hormone of darkness, because its secretion increases in darkness and decreases in light. Melatonin doesn't cause sleep directly, but signals that nighttime has arrived, promoting sleepiness and lowering body temperature as part of the transition to sleep. Melatonin secretion typically begins about 2 hours before your habitual bedtime, peaks in the middle of the night, then decreases toward morning as wake time approaches. Blue light, which comes from sunlight but also from electronic screens and LED lighting, powerfully suppresses melatonin secretion. Exposure to bright blue light in the evening delays melatonin onset, essentially telling your brain that daylight continues, shifting your circadian rhythm later and making it harder to fall asleep at your desired bed. Understanding melatonin's role helps explain why dimming lights and avoiding screens before bed improves sleep. Our 64th fact explores individual differences in circadian rhythms. People vary in their chronotype, their natural tendency toward being morning people or night people. Morning larks naturally wake early feeling refreshed and alert, perform best in morning hours, and feel sleepy early in evening. Night owls naturally stay up late, struggle with early morning wakefulness, hit their stride later in the day, and prefer sleeping late in morning. These differences have genetic components and reflect variations in circadian period length and how quickly the circadian clock shifts in response to light. Chronotype also changes across the lifespan. Children tend to be morning types, teenagers become strong night owls, young adults moderate somewhat, and older adults tend toward morning preference again. Society often forces people to live against their natural chronotype, with school and work schedules that suit morning types but conflict with night owls' biology, contributing to chronic sleep deprivation in those whose natural rhythms don't align with social schedule. Fact number 65 reveals how circadian rhythms affect sleep timing and quality. Your circadian clock creates a window of optimal sleep timing, typically in the nighttime hours for diurnal animals like humans. Attempting to sleep far outside this window, for example sleeping during late afternoon or early evening, is difficult because your circadian clock actively promotes wakefulness during these times. The interaction between your circadian rhythm and your sleep drive determines when you feel sleepy and how easily you fall asleep. The circadian rhythm also influences sleep architecture, affecting how much time you spend in different sleep stages, with circadian misalignment potentially fragmenting sleep and reducing restorative stages. This explains why shift work that requires sleeping during daytime hours proves so difficult. You're fighting against your circadian clock signal to stay awake, and the sleep you get is often lighter, more fragmented, and less restorative than sleep aligned with your circadian rhythm. Our 66th fact explores the concept of social jet lag. Even without crossing time zones, many people experience a mismatch between their biological rhythm and their social schedule, particularly on weekends when they might sleep and wake much later than during the work week. This shift creates a mini jet lag, with your body's clock on one schedule while your activities follow another. Social jet lag is associated with various health problems, including increased obesity risk, metabolic dysfunction, mood problems, and cardiovascular issues. The worse your social jet lag, meaning the greater the discrepancy between your weekday and weekend sleep schedules, the greater the health risks. Maintaining consistent sleep and wake times even on weekends helps keep your circadian rhythm stable, improving sleep quality and overall. While sleeping late on weekends might seem like catching up on lost sleep, the circadian disruption it causes might do more harm than good. Fact number 67 reveals how travel across time zones disrupts circadian rhythm. Jet lag occurs when you rapidly cross time zones faster than your circadian clock can adjust, creating temporary misalignment between your internal rhythm and the new local time. Your suprachiasmatic nucleus can only shift about 1 or 2 hours per day in response to light exposure, so traveling across multiple time zones creates a mismatch that persists for days. Symptoms include poor sleep, daytime fatigue, difficulty concentrating, digestive problems, and general malaise. Eastward travel, which requires advancing your clock, typically causes more severe jet lag than westward travel, requiring delayed adjustment, because most people's natural circadian period is slightly longer than 24 hours, making delays easier than advancing. Strategic use of bright light exposure, melatonin supplementation and sleep timing can accelerate adjustment to new time zones, but full adjustment inevitably requires several days. Our 68th fact explores the impact of age on circadian rhythms and sleep. As you age, your circadian amplitude generally decreases. The peak-to-trough variation in rhythms becomes less pronounced. Melatonin secretion often decreases with age, possibly contributing to age-related sleep problems. The circadian sleep window may shift, with older adults tending toward earlier sleep and wake times. However, these changes don't necessarily mean older adults need less sleep, despite a common misconception. Sleep architecture changes with age. Less deep sleep, more frequent nighttime awakenings, more time in lighter stages, but total sleep need likely remains around 7 to 8 hours for most older adults. The sleep problems many older adults experience often reflect medical conditions, medications, pain, nocturia, or sleep disorders like sleep apnea rather than aging itself. Understanding that sleep changes but remains important throughout life helps address the sleep needs of older adults rather than dismissing poor sleep as inevitable. Fact number 69 reveals the power of light timing for sleep. Because light is the strongest circadian synchronizer, its timing profoundly affects sleep. Bright light exposure in the first few hours after waking, particularly outdoor daylight which is far brighter than indoor lighting, helps solidify morning wakefulness and promotes alertness throughout the day. This morning light exposure also sets the timing of your evening melatonin rise, helping ensure it occurs at the appropriate time to promote sleep at your desired bedtime. Conversely, bright light exposure in the hours before bed, especially blue-rich light from screens, delays melatonin onset and shifts your circadian rhythm later, potentially making it harder to fall asleep. Strategic use of light maximizing exposure early in the day, dimming lights and avoiding screens in evening, works with your circadian biology to promote better sleep timing and quality. Our 70th fact brings us to the dual process model of sleep regulation. Your propensity to sleep at any given moment reflects the interaction between two processes: your circadian rhythm, which promotes alertness and sleepiness at specific times, regardless of how long you've been awake, and your sleep drive or homeostatic sleep pressure, which builds the longer you're awake and dissipates during sleep. These two processes normally work together. Sleep drive builds across the day, while your circadian rhythm promotes wakefulness, until evening, when the circadian drive for wakefulness decreases, and the accumulated sleep drive reaches its peak, combining to produce strong sleepiness. During sleep, sleep drive dissipates while your circadian rhythm reaches its nighttime phase, promoting sleep, keeping you asleep through the night. Understanding these two processes helps explain various sleep phenomena and why timing matters so much for sleep quality. Good sleep requires both sufficient sleep drive and appropriate circadian timing, working together to produce efficient, restorative rest. Section 8. Creating perfect sleep. Gentle guidance. Fact number 71 invites you to consider that creating excellent sleep
isn't mysterious or complicated, but involves simple, evidence-based practices, collectively known as sleep hygiene. These practices create conditions that support your natural sleep systems, rather than fighting against them. Good sleep hygiene doesn't require expensive equipment or supplements, but merely attention to basic principles about light, timing, environment, substances, and behavior. While individual needs vary, and you should adjust these principles to suit your circumstances, the fundamental recommendations remain consistent across research. Maintain regular sleep-wake schedules, manage light exposure appropriately, create a bedroom environment conducive to sleep, avoid substances that interfere with sleep, develop relaxing pre-sleep routines, and address any underlying sleep disorders. These aren't mere suggestions, but evidence-based practices that can dramatically improve sleep quality, and by extension overall health and well-being. Our 70-second fact explores the importance of sleep consistency. Going to bed and waking up at the same time every day, even on weekends, is one of the most powerful things you can do for sleep quality. Consistency strengthens your circadian rhythm, making it easier to fall asleep and wake at the desired times, improving sleep efficiency, and enhancing daytime alertness. Irregular sleep schedules weaken circadian rhythms, making it harder to sleep well at night and stay alert during the day, essentially creating chronic circadian misalignment, similar to permanent jet lag. While maintaining perfect consistency is impossible, aiming for variation of less than an hour in your sleep and wake times across the week significantly benefits sleep. This means if you must wake early for work, maintaining similar wake times on weekends preserves your rhythm, even though sleeping late seems appealing. The consistency builds a reliable rhythm that makes sleep easier and more refreshing. Fact number 73 reveals the ideal bedroom environment for sleep. Your bedroom should be dark, cool, and quiet. Darkness promotes melatonin secretion and signals your brain that sleep time has arrived. Even small amounts of light can suppress melatonin, so blackout curtains covering electronic device lights and eliminating ambient light sources improves temperature matters significantly. Your body temperature needs to drop for sleep initiation and maintenance, and a cool room, typically around 60 to 67 degrees Fahrenheit, facilitates this cooling. Overheated bedrooms disrupt sleep, preventing the temperature drop necessary for quality rest. Noise should be minimized, though some people find white noise or nature sounds mask disturbing sounds, without themselves being disturbing. Your bedroom should be associated with sleep and intimacy only, not work, eating, or screen time, building a psychological association between the bedroom and sleep that supports sleep initiation. Our 74th fact explores substance effects on sleep. Caffeine, the world's most popular psychoactive drug, blocks adenosine receptors, preventing adenosine sleep-promoting effects. Caffeine's half-life averages 5 to 6 hours, meaning that even coffee consumed in mid-afternoon still has significant levels in your system at bedtime, potentially impairing sleep initiation and reducing deep sleep. Alcohol, despite often inducing drowsiness, significantly impairs sleep quality, suppressing REM sleep, fragmenting sleep with multiple awakenings, and preventing restorative sleep stages. While alcohol might help you fall asleep faster, the sleep you get is poor quality. Nicotine is a stimulant that disrupts sleep, and people who smoke typically sleep more poorly than non-smokers. Many common medications affect sleep, some sedating, others stimulating, some fragmenting sleep or suppressing specific stages. Understanding how substances affect your sleep helps make informed choices about consumption timing and amounts, prioritizing sleep quality over the temporary pleasure or stimulation these substances provide. Fact number 75 reveals the value of a consistent pre-sleep routine. Creating a relaxing ritual in the hour before bed signals your body that sleep approaches and helps transition from the day's activities to sleep readiness. This might include dimming lights, taking a warm bath, reading, gentle stretching, meditation, journaling, or any calming activity that you enjoy and find relaxing. The specific activities matter less than consistency and genuinely calming nature. Avoid stimulating activities like intense exercise, work, stressful conversations, or exciting television shows in the hour before bed. The warm bath deserves special mention. Raising your body temperature temporarily through a bath, then emerging into cooler air, triggers a core temperature drop that promotes sleep onset. The routine becomes classically conditioned. Your body learns that these activities precede sleep, and begins the sleep preparation process when you start the routine. This Pavlovian association makes falling asleep easier, creating a psychological bridge from waking to sleep. Our 76th fact explores the paradoxical instruction to get out of bed if you can't sleep. When you lie awake in bed for extended periods, you begin associating your bed with wakefulness and frustration rather than sleep. Sleep restriction therapy, a component of cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, teaches people to maintain strict bed-wake schedules and to get out of bed if unable to sleep within 15 to 20 minutes. You should go to another room, do something quiet and relaxing in dim lighting, and return to bed only when sleepy. This might seem counterintuitive. Lying in bed surely gives more rest than sitting elsewhere, but psychologically it prevents associating your bed with frustrated wakefulness. Over time, your bed becomes strongly associated with sleep, and you fall asleep more quickly upon lying down. This technique, combined with restricting time in bed to match actual sleep time, can effectively treat insomnia without medication. Fact number 77 reveals that trying to fall asleep often backfires. Sleep is a passive process. You can't will yourself asleep any more than you can force yourself to digest food or grow hair. The harder you try to sleep, the more activated your arousal systems become in response to the effort and anxiety about not sleeping, making sleep less likely. This creates a vicious cycle where worry about sleep prevents sleep, which increases worry, which further prevents sleep. Instead of trying to sleep, focus on relaxation without the goal of falling asleep. Practice deep breathing, progressive muscle relaxation, visualization, or mindfulness meditation, not to fall asleep, but simply to relax. When you stop striving for sleep and allow yourself to simply be calm and comfortable, sleep often arrives naturally. This letting go, this surrender of effort, paradoxically facilitates what effort prevents. Sleep comes when you stop chasing it, arriving quietly when you're no longer watching for it. Our 78th fact explores natural sleep aids. While many supplements marketed for sleep have limited evidence, a few show genuine effect. Melatonin supplementation can help with circadian rhythm disorders and jet lag, working best when taken several hours before desired bedtime to shift rhythms earlier, though it's a weak sleep promoter. Magnesium deficiency might impair sleep, and supplementation sometimes helps, particularly if dietary intake is low. Valerian root, chamomile, lavender and passion flower are traditional herbal remedies, with some supporting evidence, though effects are generally modest. L-theanine, an amino acid from tea, promotes relaxation without sedation. However, behavioral interventions maintaining good sleep hygiene, addressing underlying sleep disorders, practicing relaxation techniques, cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia typically prove more effective and sustainable than supplements. Natural doesn't always mean safe, and even herbal supplements can have side effects or interact with medications, so consultation with healthcare providers is wise before starting any supplement regimen. Fact number 79 reveals common sleep myths worth dispelling. You don't need exactly 8 hours. Individual sleep needs vary from about 7 to 9 hours, and quality matters as much as quantity. Older adults don't need significantly less sleep. They often get less because of medical conditions or sleep disorders, not because they need less. You can't fully catch up on lost sleep. A weekend sleep-in helps, but doesn't completely reverse the effects of chronic sleep deprivation. Alcohol doesn't help sleep, it disrupts it. Snoring is often harmless, but can indicate sleep apnea, a serious condition requiring treatment. Insomnia isn't inevitable with aging and shouldn't be dismissed as normal. You can train yourself to need less sleep is false. Chronic voluntary sleep restriction just makes you chronically sleep deprived. Being able to fall asleep anywhere, anytime, indicate sleep deprivation, not sleep talent. Understanding what's true and false about sleep helps make informed decisions, rather than fight of associations. Integrating new learning with old knowledge. Trust your sleep systems to do their ancient work, perfected over millions of years of evolution, exquisitely designed to restore your body and mind each night. Don't fight sleep, don't try to force it, simply allow it to arrive in its own time, as you remain calm and relaxed and comfortable. Let go of the day's concerns, release any worries about tomorrow, surrender to this moment of peace and rest. Your body knows how to sleep. You've done it every night of your life, and it will sleep again tonight naturally, easily, deeply, restorative.
As you drift now into slumber, may your sleep be peaceful and deep, your dreams interesting, but not disturbing, your rest complete and refreshing. May you wake tomorrow feeling renewed, energized, clear-minded, ready to embrace the day with vitality and purpose. May you carry forward the understanding that sleep is precious, that prioritizing rest is wise, that honoring your body's need for sleep is one of the best things you can do for your health and happiness. Sleep well now, dear listener. Let these facts about sleep accompany you into dreams, understanding more deeply the gift of rest, the mystery of consciousness that persists even in sleep's domain, the beautiful rhythm of your nightly restoration. If you've enjoyed this peaceful exploration of sleep science, please like this video and subscribe to Science Lullaby for more calming journeys through scientific discovery. But for now, just rest. Just breathe. Your brain will do its work while you dream, and you'll wake tomorrow restored and renewed, ready for whatever comes. Good night. Sleep deeply. Dream sweetly. Let the science of sleep lull you into the deepest, most restorative rest. Additional fascinating sleep facts. Fact number 81 takes us to the remarkable phenomenon of how quickly sleep can overtake you. Micro-sleeps, brief episodes lasting just a few seconds where your brain essentially falls asleep even though your eyes remain open, can occur when you're severely sleep-deprived. During these micro-sleeps, your brain waves shift to sleep patterns, your attention lapses completely, and you experience what feels like a brief blank moment. These micro-sleeps are dangerous when driving or operating machinery, because several seconds of unconsciousness while traveling at highway speeds means covering significant distance with no awareness or control. Your brain can essentially force you to sleep even when you're desperately trying to stay awake, demonstrating that sleep isn't optional but a biological necessity. Your brain will eventually demand regardless of your wishes or circumstances. Our 80-second fact explores the fascinating science of sleep inertia, that groggy, disoriented feeling when you first wake up, particularly if awakened from deep sleep. Sleep inertia can significantly impair cognitive performance, reaction time, and decision-making for several minutes to half an hour after waking. Your prefrontal cortex, responsible for executive functions, takes longer to fully activate than other brain regions upon waking, creating a temporary state where you're conscious but not fully functional. This has important safety implications. People required to make critical decisions immediately upon waking, such as physicians responding to nighttime emergency calls, pilots awakened for urgent situations, or parents responding to child emergency, may make worse decisions during the sleep inertia period. Understanding sleep inertia reminds us that the transition from sleep to full waking isn't instantaneous but requires time for all brain systems to come fully online. Fact number 83 reveals the curious phenomenon of sleep talking. Somniloquy, the technical term, occurs across all sleep stages but most commonly during the lighter stages of non-REM sleep. Sleep talkers might mumble incomprehensibly, speak clearly in sentences, or even seem to hold conversations, though rarely responding appropriately to questions from others. The content of sleep talking often doesn't reflect waking thoughts or reveal secrets. It's usually nonsensical or mundane. Sleep talking is common, particularly in children, and usually harmless, though occasionally it can be loud enough to disturb a sleeping partner. The muscles of the larynx and mouth aren't fully paralyzed during REM sleep like other voluntary muscles, which is why sleep talking can occur during REM dreaming, and why vocalizations sometimes accompany dream. Though usually muscle activity remains minimal enough that dream speech stays silent or emerges as quiet mumbles. Our 84th fact takes us to the mystery of why we yawn. Despite being such a familiar behavior, the function of yawning remains surprisingly unclear. Yawning occurs when tired, bored, or upon waking, and is contagiously triggered by seeing or hearing others yawn or even reading about yawning. Traditional theories suggested yawning increases oxygen intake, but this has been largely disproved. Breathing pure oxygen doesn't reduce yawning, and manipulating carbon dioxide levels doesn't affect yawn frequency. Current theories suggest yawning might help regulate brain temperature, increase alertness during drowsiness by stretching jaw muscles and stimulating carotid circulation, or serve social functions by communicating tiredness to others. The contagiousness of yawning might reflect empathy or primitive social bonding, as you're more likely to catch yawns from close friends and family than strangers. Whatever its function, yawning reminds us how much we still don't understand about even the most common behaviors related to sleep and arousal. Fact number 85 explores the fascinating connection between body position and sleep quality. While individual preferences vary, sleeping on your back, side, or stomach each affects breathing, snoring, acid reflux, and spine alignment differently. Back sleeping potentially worsens snoring and sleep apnea by allowing the tongue and soft palate to collapse backward, but provides good spine alignment if properly supported. Side sleeping, particularly left side sleeping, reduces snoring and may benefit people with acid reflux by keeping stomach acid from flowing into the esophagus. Stomach sleeping can strain the neck and lower back, but might reduce snoring. Sleeping position also influences dreams' emotional content in subtle ways that researchers are only beginning to explore. The position you naturally adopt during sleep reflects complex interactions between comfort, habit, physical anatomy, and medical conditions, and changing habitual sleeping position can be surprisingly difficult even when medically beneficial. Our 86th fact reveals the beautiful synchronization that can occur between sleeping partners. Research shows that couples who sleep together often synchronize their sleep stages, movements, and even breathing patterns without conscious awareness. This synchronization appears related to relationship quality. Couples reporting greater relationship satisfaction show more sleep synchrony. When partners touch during sleep, their brainwaves and heart rates begin synchronizing more strongly, particularly during REMs. This physiological entrainment might strengthen emotional bonds, increase feelings of security, and improve sleep quality, though having a restless or snoring partner can also disrupt sleep significantly. The complex interplay between social bonding and sleep demonstrates that sleep isn't purely individual but can be profoundly influenced by social relationships, particularly intimate partnerships. Fact number 87 takes us to the intriguing phenomenon of hypnic jerks, those sudden muscle spasms that sometimes occur just as you're falling asleep, often accompanied by a sensation of falling. These myoclonic jerks are harmless and extremely common, experienced by perhaps 70% of people occasionally. Several theories attempt to explain them. They might represent a misfiring as the brain transitions from waking to sleeping control of muscle, or evolutionary remnants of a reflex that helped sleeping primates maintain balance in trees, or misinterpretation of the muscle relaxation that occurs during sleep onset as loss of balance requiring immediate correction. Hypnic jerks occur more frequently when you're overtired, stressed, or have consumed caffeine late in the day. While startling, they're completely benign, though they can be embarrassing when occurring during meetings or while trying to fall asleep next to a partner. They remind us of the complex transitions occurring as your brain shifts from waking to sleeping mode. Our 88th fact explores the relationship between sleep and creativity. Many famous creative breakthroughs occurred during or immediately after sleep. August Kekeli's discovery of the benzene ring structure, Dmitri Mendeleev's periodic table arrangement,
Mary Shelley's Frankenstein concept, Paul McCartney's Yesterday Melody, and countless others. REM sleep, with its novel associations and reduced logical constraints, appears particularly conducive to creative insight. Studies show that people awakened from REM sleep perform better on creative problem-solving tasks than those awakened from non-REM sleep or who remained awake. The sleeping brain makes connections that waking thought might miss, approaches problems from unexpected angles, combines distant concepts in novel ways. This creative capacity of sleep suggests that when facing creative challenges, sleeping on it isn't procrastination, but potentially the most productive approach, allowing your unconscious mind to explore solution spaces that conscious deliberation cannot access. Fact number 89 reveals how sleep changes with the seasons. In natural conditions without artificial lighting, sleep duration varies across the year, with longer sleep in winter and shorter in summer, following the changing duration of darkness. Modern life with electric lighting largely overrides this natural seasonal variation, but some people still experience seasonal changes in sleep needs and mood. Seasonal affective disorder, a form of depression occurring primarily in winter months at higher latitudes, involves disrupted circadian rhythms, and often includes changes in sleep, either insomnia or excessive sleepiness. Light therapy, which provides bright light exposure in morning hours, helps by resetting circadian rhythms, and often improves both mood and sleep. Understanding that sleep naturally responds to environmental light cycles helps explain why some people feel more tired during dark winter months, and why maintaining good lighting practices becomes even more important when natural daylight is limited. Our 90th fact takes us to the phenomenon of dream incorporation of external events. Dreams can integrate ongoing bodily sensations, environmental sounds, or other external stimuli into their narratives, sometimes allowing continued sleep despite potentially disturbing stimuli. This protective function of dreams prevents every small sound or sensation from waking you, though truly threatening stimuli generally do penetrate sleep and cause awakening. The dreaming brain acts as a filter and interpreter, deciding which stimuli can be incorporated harmlessly into dreams, and which require waking attention. This explains why you might dream of urination when your bladder is full, dream of thirst when dehydrated, dream of cold when your blanket falls off, or incorporate a ringing phone into a dream story rather than immediately waking. The creative integration of external stimuli into ongoing dreams demonstrates the brain's remarkable ability to maintain narrative coherence, even while processing multiple streams of internal and external information during sleep. Fact number 91 explores the cultural variations in sleeping arrangements and practices. While contemporary Western culture emphasizes individual sleeping in private bedrooms, this represents a historically and globally unusual arrangement. Throughout history and in many cultures today, co-sleeping, multiple family members sharing sleeping spaces has been the norm. Siestas in Mediterranean and Latin American cultures recognize that biphasic sleep patterns, nighttime sleep plus an afternoon nap, might be more natural than consolidated nocturnal sleep. Japanese in Imiri, sleeping in public spaces during breaks is socially accepted as evidence of hard work rather than laziness. Different cultures have varying beliefs about dreams, from Western psychological interpretation to spiritual or prophetic significance in many traditional societies. These cultural variations remind us that while sleep itself is biological and universal, how we sleep, when we sleep, where we sleep, and what meaning we assign to sleep and dreams are shaped by cultural contexts that vary widely across human society. Our 92nd fact reveals the fascinating differences in sleep needs across species. Elephants sleep only about 4 hours per day, while brown bats sleep nearly 20 hours. Predators generally sleep more than prey animals, which must remain vigilant against aquatic mammals like dolphins and whales. Show unihemispheric sleep, where one brain hemisphere sleeps while the other remains awake, allowing continuous movement and breathing. Birds can also engage in unihemispheric sleep during migration, with one hemisphere resting while the other maintains flight control. The variation in sleep duration across species suggests sleep serves functions that different animals require to different degrees, or that different ecological niches create different selection pressures around sleep. Humans fall somewhere in the middle of the mammalian range, requiring about 8 hours, more than prey animals but less than many predators, reflecting our evolutionary history as social omnivores, neither primarily predator nor prey. Fact number 93 takes us to the important topic of sleep and learning in students. Sleep after learning consolidates new information more effectively than additional study time, yet students often sacrifice sleep before exams to cram more information. This is counterproductive. Sleep deprivation impairs the ability to form new memories and to retrieve existing ones, while adequate sleep strengthens memories and integrates new learning with existing knowledge. Students who maintain regular sleep schedules and prioritize sleep before exams consistently outperform equally capable peers who sacrifice sleep for additional study time. The most effective learning strategy combines studying, sleeping, and then reviewing the material. The sleep between initial learning and review allows consolidation that makes the subsequent review more effective. Educational systems that recognize sleep's role in learning, such as schools with later start times for teenagers, whose circadian rhythms naturally shift later, see improved academic performance, fewer discipline problems, better mood and reduced car accident rates among student drivers. Our 94th fact explores the relationship between sleep and athletic performance. Sleep is when the body repairs exercise-induced muscle damage, replenishes energy stores, releases growth hormone for tissue building, and consolidates motor learning from practice. Elite athletes who extend their sleep to 10 hours per night show measurable improvements in performance, faster sprint times, better shooting accuracy, improved reaction times, and enhanced endurance. Sleep deprivation impairs physical performance as significantly as it impairs cognitive function, reducing time to exhaustion, decreasing accuracy, slowing reaction times, and increasing injury risk. The performance decrements from inadequate sleep can negate training gains, making sleep as important as practice for athletic development. Professional sports teams increasingly recognize sleep's importance, hiring sleep specialists, providing sleep education, optimizing travel schedules to minimize circadian disruption, and monitoring athletes' sleep to ensure adequate recovery. For anyone engaged in physical training, adequate sleep is necessary for the body to adapt to training stresses and build strength, endurance, and skill. Fact number 95 reveals the fascinating phenomenon of false awakening, where you dream of waking up and beginning your day, only to actually wake and realize the previous awakening was itself a dream. False awakenings can be incredibly realistic, including mundane details like looking at your phone, eating breakfast, or driving to work, making the eventual true awakening disorienting. Some people experience nested false awakenings, dreaming of waking multiple times before finally truly waking, which can be confusing and occasionally distressing. False awakenings occur most commonly in the morning hours when REM sleep periods are longest and most intense. They might be more frequent in people who regularly use alarm clocks as the expectation of waking gets incorporated into dream content. While typically just an odd experience, frequent false awakenings can be disconcerting, blurring boundaries between dream and reality, and occasionally causing brief uncertainty about whether current experiences are real or dream. Our 96th fact takes us to the curious connection between moon phases and sleep. While popular belief holds that full moons disrupt sleep, scientific studies show mixed results. Some research finds small decreases in total sleep time and increased sleep onset latency around full moons, while other studies find no relationship. If moon phases do affect sleep, the mechanism remains unclear. Moonlight itself seems an unlikely cause given that bedroom curtains block it, and the effect appears even in windowless rooms. Possible explanations include gravitational effects on biological fluids, evolutionary remnants of ancestral behaviors, or subtle effects on melatonin through unknown pathways. The continuing debate about lunar effects on sleep demonstrates how even with modern sleep science, some questions remain difficult to resolve definitively, and how beliefs about sleep are often influenced by anecdotal experiences that may or may not reflect actual patterns. Fact number 97 explores the impact of altitude on sleep. Sleeping at high altitudes disrupts sleep significantly, particularly for people not acclimatized to altitude. The lower oxygen levels trigger periodic breathing patterns with repeated cycles of rapid breathing followed by slow breathing or breathing pauses, fragmenting sleep and reducing deep sleep and REM sleep. These sleep disruptions contribute to altitude sickness symptoms including fatigue, headache, and poor cognitive function. Even moderately high altitudes like common ski resort elevations can affect sleep quality. Acclimatization over days to weeks reduces sleep disruptions as the body adjusts to lower oxygen levels. Acetazolamide, a medication that stimulates breathing, can improve sleep at altitude by preventing periodic breathing. Understanding that altitude disrupts sleep helps people visiting high-altitude locations set realistic expectations and take steps to minimize sleep problems during the adjustment period. Our 98th fact reveals the relationship between exercise and sleep. Regular physical activity generally improves sleep quality, helping people fall asleep faster, experience more deep sleep and wake less during the night. However, timing matters. Intense exercise too close to bedtime can be stimulating rather than sleep promoting, raising body temperature and activating arousal systems at a time when your body needs to cool and calm for sleep. Morning or afternoon exercise provides sleep benefits without the potential for evening exercise to interfere with sleep onset. The mechanism by which exercise improves sleep likely involves multiple pathways, increasing sleep drive through energy expenditure, reducing anxiety and depression that can impair sleep, helping regulate circadian rhythms, particularly when exercise occurs outdoors in natural light, and improving overall physical health, which supports better sleep. For people with insomnia, adding regular exercise to their routine often significantly improves sleep, though the benefits sometimes take several weeks to fully manifest. Fact number 99 takes us to the phenomenon of sleep drunkenness, or confusional arousal, where people exhibit confused, inappropriate, or even aggressive behavior during or immediately after waking from deep sleep. Unlike sleepwalking where the person remains asleep, confusional arousal occurs during partial awakening, when the brain is transitioning between sleep and wake state. The person may appear awake, eyes open, perhaps speaking or moving, but remains confused, disoriented, unresponsive to attempts at communication, and has no memory of the episode afterward. These episodes can last minutes to hours in extreme cases. They occur most commonly when waking from the deep sleep of the first sleep cycle, particularly when sleep deprived or when awakened suddenly. Young children experience confusional arousals fairly commonly, but they typically outgrow them. In adults, frequent confusional arousals may indicate underlying sleep disorders or excessive sleep deprivation and warrant evaluation. Our 100th and final fact brings us to perhaps the most important truth about sleep: it is not negotiable. You cannot cheat sleep without consequence. You cannot train yourself to need less sleep. You cannot make up chronic sleep debt with occasional longer sleep. The fatigue, cognitive impairment, mood problems, increased disease risk, shortened lifespan associated with chronic sleep deprivation are real, measurable. Sleep is as fundamental to health as food and water, as necessary for life as breathing. Every major system in your body, cardiovascular, immune, metabolic, nervous, endocrine, depends on adequate sleep to function properly. Sleep is when your body heals, your brain consolidates memories, your mind processes emotions, your cells repair damage, your immune system strengthens. Prioritizing sleep isn't weakness or laziness, but wisdom, an investment in health that pays dividends in every aspect of life. Better mood, sharper thinking, stronger immunity, healthier metabolism, longer lifespan, greater happiness. The single most powerful thing most people could do to improve their health and quality of life is simply to sleep more and sleep better. Your body needs sleep. Honor that need. Protect your sleep. Make it a priority. Your future self will thank you.